This week we read in Parshat Devarim, and we can't help but ignore where we are on the calendar, the days before Tisha Bav. Moshe hints about moving away from Sinai after spending too much time there, which is a hint about the sin of the golden calf. He then spends some time revisiting the sin of the spies. And these two sins, we understand, certainly have an impact upon the days that we are right now. The first temple is destroyed because of the most horrific sins, sexual sins, murder, idolatry. All three of those sins were compounded together with the sin of the golden calf. They killed Hor who tried to stop them. They worshipped a golden calf. And it says, Kumu l'tzachek, and they got up and they made merry, which tradition understands as sexual sins as well. But if we were really trying to articulate what happened, it was rejection of God. When we get to the sin of the spies, we understand that what it is, it's a rejection of the land of Israel. But there's one more sin which is hovering behind all of this, and that's the sin of the sale of Yosef. Sale of Yosef is when we hated our brother. We were so indifferent that afterwards, when he was sitting, crying, screaming in a pit, frightened, naked, the brothers just sat there and had a meal. Indifference to the pain of a brother. And then they sold him, which means what leads to selling a brother? First comes indifference. We need to think about all of these sins right now as we get towards Tisha Bav. We need to remember that we rejected God. We need to redouble our efforts in accepting God. We need to remember that we rejected the land of Israel, and we need to redouble our efforts in terms of our appreciation and love of the land of Israel. But finally, we also need to focus on the indifference that we had towards our brother and we're able to sell him. That is really the core of the sinat chinam, that blind hatred which causes destruction of the second temple. Shabbat Shalom.